1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. We're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen, Blue Island, Beverly, Payless, and Allsup too. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod.
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
And belly on up to the 9-foot homemade oak bar. Pour yourself a cold one. My name is Chris. That's Bill. That's Mike. This is Southside Pod. 30 minutes of good in a world of dumb for the entirety of the South Side. We're going to get a little freaky today. We're going to get a little weird. We're going to get a little paranormal as just part of the show. We got a really interesting guest getting in here in just a few moments. It's perfect timing, too, because even though I'm really behind on pretty much all of my shows that I'm streaming, and, you know, I'm constantly trying to catch up and binge and figure out what's going on, I finally finished Stranger Things. And along those lines, I think this will make an awful lot of sense what we're doing for at least part of the program today.
I got out of Stranger Things like in the second season. It lost me. It's like I don't watch like sequels to movies that I like either.
All right, let's nerd out though real quick.
Oh,
we're talking about streaming.
Here we go.
Okay.
Obi-Wan. I know you've watched it.
I'm only one episode in. The kids won't wait for anymore. There was a guy heavy breathing in that episode because I could hear it through the wall when I was working.
Yeah.
So that upset me that they were watching it.
This is on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney
Yes.
Plus. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I love Mandalorian, so I got to check this out.
Well, here's the thing with it though. It feels to me after watching the first two episodes that like the same people that made The Last Jedi that aggravated me are running Obi-Wan. Like it was very different from all the other Disney Plus shows.
The first
had
episode
that-
was very slow.
Yeah, and then the second episode had terrible editing.
Yeah.
Like
I
here,
haven't
I'll just
seen
say
that one
this.
yet.
There's a person running at breakneck speed across rooftops, jumping and doing parkour and holding a lightsaber and all this crazy stuff, and the other person's just a couple of houses down. And then all of a sudden, it just cuts to a scene where they're walking down the street and that person just disappears. Like, it's the worst editing I've ever seen in anything in my life.
Lazy.
It's just lazy, bad, and awful. So, I mean, I'm hoping it gets better as I go through it. Because
I've heard nothing but good things about episode 3.
from your kids.
From my kids and from all the nerds I know.
From your
have
nerds.
watched.
That's
Yeah.
who I want to hear from.
That's
Not
right.
your kids,
The
your
kids
nerds.
have a different outlook.
Right. I like
You
the
know,
nerds. The nerds
we're
are
the
the ones.
purists
Yeah.
of the series.
Right. I like the gatekeepers of Star Wars that are like our age
Right.
or older.
Right.
That will,
Han shot first people.
Right. That's who I want
I'm
my,
just revisionist Greedo shot first
my
crap.
Star Wars.
Wow, that was super nerdy. That was very nerdy.
You can't erase our history.
No.
Han shot first.
I used to bullseye womp rats, my T-16 back home in Beggar's Canyon. Those weren't much more than 2 meters wide.
Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, we've got an interesting guest. The more I learn about you, the more I can't wait to peel back the layers of everything that you're doing. And I want to introduce you to everybody here. Neal Gibbons sitting down here, joining us on Southside Pod. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fabulous. And yourself, sir?
I'm good. You, first of all, are a podcaster, from what I understand.
Yes.
So
yes.
I find that amazing, and I'm looking forward to talking because anytime I sit with a podcaster, they know how to talk into a microphone. It makes my job. You're going to make my editing job so much easier. So I appreciate that. So plug the podcast first of all, and I think that'll lead us into what you do.
Well, it's a podcast that's called Spirits by the Graveside that you can find on Spotify, Anchor FM. But the thing is our mother company, which is Graveside Paranormal, it's on our YouTube because what we try to incorporate is we try to incorporate videos as well as the audio so that people can also go to our YouTube channel and check out the videos that we're putting on. And if people are just strolling around in their cars and this and that, they can just listen to it. So we try to make it very entertaining. We're very big about entertaining people. So we try to put audio and video into all of our podcasts.
And what you're doing essentially is are you ghost hunting? Are you Southside ghost hunters? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. So I started a company called Graveside Paranormal about 7 years ago. And what we do is I do ghost tours throughout the south side of Chicago. We take you on a very nice coach bus. And we tell you stories about like Resurrection Mary. We talk about Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. All the things are on the south side, and we have audio and video on there. We play games. What we do is I do documentaries on real haunted places. I go to real haunted places. I'm a paranormal researcher. I go out to places. People actually give me calls. They send me emails about problems that they have going on in their lives. And so, I tell people, I can't solve all these problems, but I do have in line what Graveside Paranormal, myself, Neal Gibbons has is we have a cast of people. If you're having a problem, if I can't figure it out, I'm going to hand it off to the next person. But what we do is we build up evidence so that they can hear stuff. Like if they start hearing voices in the house.
Right.
So we bring out recorders. We bring out other machines. One of the things is called the Anahata Spirit Portal Box, where we've actually made direct contact with spirits.
Okay, so here, I'm going to stop you here, because
Sure.
every time I see a Ghost Hunter show, or I flip through something on TV, or I stream something, it's a bunch of guys standing around wondering if they heard something, thinking they might have heard something, but I don't see anything, right? And it's always a letdown when I watch this stuff, or I see something that looks really, really fake. So you're telling me that you've actually found stuff and you've actually recorded it, like you have some evidence.
Yes, and if I was lying to you, I'd ruin my reputation. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I'm a sensitive. It doesn't mean I wake up late at night crying. What it is I hear...
I got a teenage daughter. She's a sensitive too.
She's very sensitive.
Very different though.
Very different. So what happens is I hear voices out of my left ear and I get impressions about certain things that happen in certain places, like if a murder or anything like that has happened. It only happens when it happens. I can't call on these things to happen. It happens when it happens. And we actually have caught it many times when I hear things out of my left ear, because we have a thing called the bionic ear, where we have a very large speaker that's listening very, very intently on the area that's positioned in. And these voices have come up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, if you go to some of our documentaries, we have this one lady who's using our Anahata Spirit Portal Box, which was designed by Steve Lineweber. He's my business partner. This thing here, don't get me wrong, there's a sense of entertainment to what we do. But then at the same time, there is a seriousness to it.
Is it like wrestling, where it's very physical, but they have the outcome of the match like decided?
No.
Like, are you telling me that like there might have been noises and then we added some noises?
No.
Okay.
No. I can't do that, dude. I cannot do that.
Because the way you said it, it was like Vince McMahon trying to tell me it's entertainment. That's what it felt like.
Well, there's a form of entertainment when I say that the Anahata Spirit Portal Box, right. We take it out on our tours. Okay, and we let people use it, but I have to tell people use it, take it with a grain of salt. The reason why is because it's cycling through an internet address, all the responses. It's not cycling through an AM, FM radio stations. It's cycling through the internet so that we get a broader band of like answers. Now we've actually had a lady was in Thornton, Illinois, who was holding a regular conversation with her mother-in-law. It's in one of our videos that's on Graveside Paranormal on YouTube.
Okay.
And this lady, for 2 minutes and about 30 seconds, is holding a conversation with her mother-in-law.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. All right, well, you basically have planned Southside Pod's Halloween episode right here. I mean, you and I, we're going to have to get back together, but I want to make sure that we talk a little bit about your event that's coming up, because this might really interest people. It's in Bridgeview. Tell me exactly what it is, what's its name, and why people should go there, because I notice it's not this weekend, it's next, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. It is July 23rd, starting at 12 p.m. at the Branding Iron / the Pavilion in Bridgeview, Illinois, which is 7036 Harlem Avenue. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a full day of fun. I'm big about having everybody have a ton of fun. from 12 o'clock till about 11:30 at night. In the beginning, we're going to be having a couple podcasts, ghostly podcasts. Pat and Rebecca are going to be out there from 1 to 2. Then we're going to have from 2 o'clock till 3 o'clock, we're going to have Bad Taste Crime podcast. Then at 3 o'clock, we are going to have Dr. Wax. He's a comedy magician. We try to keep everybody, having just good entertainment. Then we're going to be playing Deal with the Devil with Mr. Bob Trysick. He is going to be the devil. It's like
this is a highly produced thing, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just showed me the intro video for the Deal with the Devil segment of this. I don't know, would you call this a festival, convention? What would you want to?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. But he just showed me this thing, and I was like, this is a production right here. What you're doing.
What I try to do is I try to put on a show for everyone. We're very big about keeping people entertained throughout the whole thing. Like sometimes people go on these bus tours, these ghost tours, and they sit on a bus and no one's talking until someone gets to a certain place. We don't do that. I answer questions. We bring up videos and audio and stuff like that so that people stay interactive. That's how our show Parapalooza is going to be. It's going to be interactive. We got over 30 vendors that deal with the horror genre, supernatural, the paranormal are going to be out there that you can buy stuff from.
You have a Scream Queen contest, I see there.
Yes.
What is that? Are these going to be ladies that walk up and just scream?
It could be ladies or guys.
Or guys.
Or guys.
All right.
We're in a new world, brother.
It's 2022.
That's right. So guys or girls can come up. I'm going to give away a $100 bill to the best scream. It's going to be at least up to 20, 25 people. Or it'd be, if we had a ton of people, it'd take all day long. And it would
get annoying.
Oh, it would get quite annoying. I go, honey, it's time to go home.
Thanks for going up on the stage for the last hour. Just people keep coming up and screaming for $100.
And then we're going to have the Windy City Ghostbusters out there. They're going to be out there. One of our things is called Split the Pot. Like you go to the football games and this and that. Everybody plays Split the Pot. Or like I see on here, you go to the Sox games. You play Split the Pot. It's just going to be $5 in. Half the money I'm going to give to a one-time winner.
Right.
The other half is going towards a children's hospital. Then I also have a lady there who's called Bishop Rake. She is also going to be having a table out there where she is going to be giving whatever proceeds that she sells to also children in Africa. So I'm big about charity. So
you got some bands.
Yes.
I see Absolution is playing, and Hellbilly Deluxe. That's a big Rob Zombie tribute band.
Yes.
I've heard of them. I know that they draw. That's a big one at the end of your night.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. These two bands are going to be really good. 7:30 Absolution's coming on. And then after that, at about 9 o'clock, we're going to be having Hellbilly Deluxe, which is Rob Zombie. And I love Rob Zombie. I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan, right?
I'm shocked that the guy that runs around and looks at paranormal stuff is in the Rob Zombie.
You can imagine that.
It's amazing.
Imagine that. And the other cool thing that we got going on is I got one of the best tour guides in Chicago. Everybody knows him. He's been on TV and this and that. Mr. Tony Sabalski. He is going to be doing tours throughout the day from 12:30 all the way till 7 o'clock at night. They're 2-hour tours, Archer Avenue. We have two prices, $25 for a whole day of admission to Parapalooza, and it's a separate cost for the tours of $25. So we have two different prices, $25 for a full day of entertainment. And this place, the Branding Iron, I'm going to be honest with you, man, it's a beautiful place. It just got built a couple of years ago. The food there is very good. They give you these little donuts when you go inside there, right at your table. Any fat guy loves those things, you know?
Any place where I can walk in and there's donuts that are waiting for me. What kind of crowd do you expect at this? Are there going to be people walking around with those fake vampire teeth and looking weird at me the entire time I'm there? Like, what kind of people are showing up to this is what I'm asking.
That is a very big possibility.
Do these people look like they came out of a Rob Zombie video?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's going to be there. The freaks are coming out.
Now, the thing is that I welcome in people who want to dress up like it's Halloween.
Right.
See, Halloween is the second largest thing of the year, other than Christmas, of course. And people love it all throughout the year. There's actually a lot of shops and this and that to deal with the horror genre.
There's a guy who's got his entire house decorated like it's Halloween year-round on Kedzie Avenue.
Yes.
Right near 111th.
Yes, yeah. I've seen that. Yeah. I've seen that so many times.
I'm convinced that the guy's dead and nobody's checking on him because his house is weird. And he just decorated for Halloween 2 years ago and nobody's checked on him.
Maybe we should do an investigation.
Yeah, there you go. That's your next house.
That's my next house. You never know, brother.
That's awesome. All right, so we've got the big event. It's coming up. It's a week from this Saturday coming up, right?
Yes, July 23rd.
And how do people do they get them in advance?
You can go to Graveside Paranormal on Facebook, or gravesideparanormal.com. And it's Graveside, SIDE, paranormal. You can do it off Eventbrite, or you can buy at the door. And it's an all-day ticket. You're going to be welcomed in by Midwest Takeover podcast. Radio show, not podcast. They're a heavy metal station. They're going to be welcoming in people right off the bat. I got the Windy City Ghostbusters. They got a 30-foot tall Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that's going to be there. I'm going to be giving out candy. Who doesn't love candy?
You've got this all planned out. I hope this is huge. Have you done this before?
This is our fourth one. Last year, we did a thing in Watsika, Illinois called the Roth House. We took people through this. It was the first documented possession in America. And I took people through tours, me and my team, throughout the day, walking tours throughout the house.
I've heard about this house.
Yes, it's called the Roth House.
You're going to have to come on more. We're going to have to talk about these things. Because they're creepy, but they're interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I have had previously on our shows before a Catholic priest who will sit down and get into those things with me, which is really interesting. Okay?
Right.
Because a lot of people think that that's all for show. And that's literally part of there are Catholic priests who specialize in actual dealing with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exorcisms, it's a real thing that they do. And when you get a priest that talks about it, it'll make the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
These things are very real, but I know a lot of people love to talk about demons, and I love Conjuring movies as much as anybody. The Conjuring movies are awesome. I love the entertainment value of it. Do demons and stuff like that exist? Oh, yeah, stuff like that exists. But so do angels as well.
Right.
But a lot of people, they like to try to talk more about demons. But
they're cooler looking.
They're cooler looking. They look really cool.
I mean, you never see, angels are still wearing jorts, like John Cena. That's kind of what they're like.
They're wearing the John Cena ones? Can't see me?
I'm in so much trouble. All right. Please forgive me, Lord. All right. So, Spirits by the Graveside is the name of your podcast. Neal Gibbons is putting on Parapalooza in Bridgeview. That is coming up a week from Saturday. And we're going to have you back. I want to do a tour with you. I would love to grab the mic and go along with you and see what it's like, especially as we get into the spooky season in the fall.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be having them all throughout the month of October. And we did our tragic tour, and we were at Holy Sepulchre Cemetery. And I always tell people to take pictures and audio of every place we go. And there's a thing on our Graveside Paranormal Facebook of this lady. It was a young girl. She took a picture of what looked like a nun was walking through Holy Sepulchre Cemetery.
Well, maybe it was a nun.
But there was nobody there at the time. That's the odd thing. And if you look at the picture, I'm going to show you after we're done with this podcast.
Walking into a church and saying, I saw a spooky priest.
When we're done with this podcast, I'm going to show you this picture. It looks just like the Conjuring nun.
Oh, that's great. You're going to give me nightmares. Don't bring your demons into my house, okay?
No,
I
sir.
work here and I live here, for crying out loud. Neal Gibbons, the website again.
Website is gravesideparanormal.com, Facebook Graveside Paranormal.
And you can actually get the information for the Parapalooza there?
Yes.
All right. Well, Neal, I appreciate you coming in. I'm going to look at your spooky photos now and freak myself out.
Man, thanks for just having us on today.
It's the middle of the show song. 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 Chris had nothing to put here, so he put this song. It's the middle of the show song.
So I'm planning a trip again with this group of guys that I go and, we do big trips all the time. We just a bunch of guys from college. We go do a big trip, and a couple of the guys have those CPAP machines, and one of them has the loudest machine that he sleeps with. When we're divvying up rooms, I'm like, it's like you're trying to draw straws on who's going to be sleeping for the next 3 nights in a hotel room with somebody that sounds like Darth Vader amped up to an 11. It's crazy. You might need an upgrade, and you might not be aware of how much is available to you through insurance. Hyatt Home Medical Equipment not only will find you the best machine, they have testing rooms. They're going to bring you back, make you comfortable, and get you to try it out. They handle everything from diabetes management to aids in the bathroom and the kitchen and getting in and out of the tub and a ramp that goes up the stairs in the front and a chairlift that brings you from the first to second floor. You name it, they have it. A big, beautiful showroom right in Evergreen Park. Switch to a new age of life and stay independent and in your home. And if you have somebody that is at that point in their life, help them out. Tell them about Hyatt Home Medical Equipment. The showroom and their friendly staff, all at 3518 West 95th Street. The website to check it all out, hhme.com. Mention Southside Pod. You get a discount as well Me, I'm not in the market for a CPAP machine yet. I am in the market, I think, for a car, though. So if you would have come around to the back door of the house,
Yes.
you would have come down the driveway and you would have seen that the 2008 Saturn, this is like one of the last Saturns sold. It is the last...
Great car, though.
It is the last Saturn sold at the dealership in Tinley or Orland, wherever it was, in 2008. It was the Saturn dealership because I was in there getting service on a car. And the guy said, this is our last day here. You'll be going to the Chevy places from now on for your warranty stuff on your car. And I'm having somebody come pick up all these cars that are left here at the end of the day. We're closing up shop. And he goes, you know, you bought a couple of Saturns in your life. And it's because I had an accident my first car I bought was a Saturn. I had an accident. I went over the side of a mountain and I survived. So I was like a loyal Saturn customer because I should have been dead. Like the police officer was like, we pulled the guy out of his car in the same spot a year ago, same accident, and he was a pancake. So like
not driving a Saturn.
Right. I'm like, he wasn't driving a Saturn.
Right.
I was. So they were great cars. And this guy looks at me and he goes, I'll sell you any car on here at the cost that I am going to give it to this guy. So I bought a $28,000 car for like $16,000.
That's beautiful.
And it was like a second car. Okay. It was just something to get around in. I still have it. It's old. It's decrepit. It's falling apart. And it died on me for the last time in the driveway over the winter. And I tried to open up the hood and the hood actually broke in my hands from the rust. And that's an old car, right? So the windows are stuck in the down position from when so it's been raining inside of the car. And I'm just waiting to get around to calling Cars for Kids. Like, give me the $200 and take give me the $500 tax credit you give me and the $50 in cash.
Victory Auto Workers has 7 acres of used parts, starters, transmissions, batteries for all types of cars.
Right, exactly. They all pay the same. You know what's funny is I've done this before. If you go to Victory Auto Records, you go for Cars for Kids, it's like pretty much the same amount.
Really?
It's like a base thing. One's giving you a tax break and the other one's giving you in cash.
Pull it. Tow it to Golf Mill Ford.
I bought a car from there before. So yeah.
Golf Mill Ford?
Yeah, because I was working up there when I bought the blue one that's out in the driveway.
So the Saturn's dead.
The Saturn's dead.
So it's not.
Saturn's dead. Doesn't work anymore. Is not a fast car. It is
not anymore.
No.
Was it ever?
No, not really. It was an Aura. It was one of my slower cars, to be honest with you. It was a 4-door sedan. Why did you have a song that needed me to say it was a fast car so that you could sing?
No.
Okay.
All right.
I just wanted to make sure. I felt like you were leading into something.
Oh, do you have one, Mike?
A fast car? No.
Oh, okay. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Started from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me and myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here, and I've been working at a convenience store. Managed to save a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can get both jobs. Finally see what it means to be living. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and the arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. So the Saturn wasn't fast.
No,
ever.
It wasn't fast. The one that went over the side of the mountain got really
I was
fast.
gonna say gravity helped that one though, huh?
I mean, that was the fastest it ever went.
Really?
Yeah, right into a tree.
It stopped really good too, I bet.
Quick.
Quick. Did everything go everywhere when you crashed? Your sunglasses.
I was on the radio at the time, and I had
Your
all the
chapstick.
CDs from the radio station I was getting for free,
Yeah.
and they were all stuck in parts of the
Really?
car. Yeah, like little CD Chinese stars, like in the back of the seat. It was crazy.
You were fine.
The tree, it wrapped around the tree, and I crawled up the side of the hill in the dark and flagged down a car.
And then made passionate love to that woman. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast I feel like I was drunk, and the city lights lay out before us, and my arms felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling that be someone.
All right, so we're here on Southside Pod. Try to keep it positive always. We're 30 minutes of good. You know that. Sometimes bad things happen, though, and we can't cover the Southside and be out with the people and not talk about what happened on Friday night in the Beverly neighborhood, where a U.S. Army veteran and Chicago police officer, who seems, by all accounts, to be a great guy. I've never met Danny Golden. If I have, and I forgot, I'm sorry. I feel like I may have met family. I definitely know people that know him. Everybody that I've talked to has said, what a great dude. And it sounds like this hero, this person that has dedicated his life not only to serving his country, but then serving his community, it's like an entire life of service, is out and a fight is about to break out. And by all accounts, the people that showed up to instigate this fight were almost looking for one. But I'm not in the courtroom. That'll all get sorted out at some point. But it doesn't look like there was, two sides that were completely innocent here. It looks like there was a group that might have just been itching for a brawl. Again, I wasn't there. It hasn't all come to light yet. But by all accounts, Danny's not even involved. And yet, he springs into action and tries to defuse the situation to avoid people getting hurt. Because that's what heroes do. And then somebody very cowardly grabs a gun and fires it at the group as they start to walk away. And Danny Golden, this U.S. Army veteran, this Chicago police officer who serves his community, this person that by all accounts is a good guy and was just trying to help, is struck in the center of his back with a bullet. Bullet goes through his spinal cord or severs it and ends up lodged in his heart. As of now, partially paralyzed and really in need of not only your prayers, but your support. As the son of a Chicago police officer who served for 34 years from a family of law enforcement. And let's not forget, I brought it up on the show before, I was a 911 police dispatcher for 10 years. And hearing all that I've heard about Danny, I just want to take a moment and ask you that if you have anything to spare, I want you to go to the GoFundMe page they've set up for Danny and his family. I put the link inside of the show notes. Otherwise, just go to GoFundMe.com, look up Danny Golden. It's incredible that the Southside has already put together $1.1 million in donations as of the moment that I'm recording this. Also, the Tom Hopkins Foundation, you met Liam and Tommy Hopkins. They do Papa Hops, the softball tournament. The same night that this happened, I was in another part on the South Side at 113th and Western announcing the championship game for their 16-inch softball tournament. They have sprung into action. There is a link also in the show notes to get Fight Like a Golden apparel with the proceeds going to Danny Golden. Sometimes the good guys in our community get hurt. The right thing to do, then, is to prop them up and take care of them. If you're able to do that, it is much appreciated. Your Southside Pod Bulletin Board brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard, and Cool Clouds wants to give you an alternative. They also have great CBD products, that big taster bar to try out everything they provide. Visit it today at 3837 West 95th Street or check them out at coolcloudsvapor.com. This Sunday, get out to Blue Island, the Socks in the Basement podcast hosted by myself, my friend Ed Siebert, doing a live recording of our next episode at the Blue Island Beer Company. Our guests for that half hour are going to be the two authors of Chili Dog MVP, Dick Allen, the 1972 White Sox, and A Transforming of Chicago. They're going to do a book signing. We're going to interview them. I think there's going to be a White Sox game on. Who knows how badly they'll be playing that day. But there's going to be beer, and we're going to have fun. 13357 Old Western Avenue in Blue Island. If you or a loved one are recovering at home from an illness or hospitalization, if you're a fall risk, if you're living with a chronic health condition, if you know somebody who's terminally ill or suffering from dementia, Hibernian Home Care Service wants to help. Locally owned and operated by a registered nurse with over 25 years experience in health care, their goal is to provide the best care possible. Reach out to Mary Murphy today, 708-634-2450. If you're into Chicagoland wrestling, and another podcast on this network, Windy City Slam, covers it each and every week, AAW Pro Wrestling is going to be out at 115 Bourbon Street in Marionette Park on Friday night, 7:30 until 10:30, a full slate of matches. 6 p.m. doors. They're taping AAW Alive at 6:45, 7:30 bell time. Front row, second row stage, all sold out, but you can still get in there for tickets as low as $20. aawpro.ticketleap.com. And our good friends over at Sid Sauce have finally launched their own website, sidsauce.net. 17 different types of hot sauces available. Support a local business. Try out the delicious sauces, all of them fresh, small batch hot sauces. Get a list of the products, order, have it delivered to you, and check out where they're going to be at different festivals coming up, all at sidsauce.net. If you have anything for the bulletin board, remember you can reach out to us, southsidepod.com, leave us a voice message, or type in a message to us. It's very easy to do. Heck, if you want to comment on anything you hear on the show, you can do that as well. I want to get back to what we started the show with, though. I feel like we had like a missed topic there. The streaming and the shows that you're watching right now. I always find something new when I have these conversations with people. What TV show are you watching right now? Or that you've streamed recently?
We don't watch a lot of TV because we got little kids.
Right.
But we just finished Ozark, and we're really late to the party on that.
I haven't even watched it yet.
The whole thing?
None of it.
Oh, you can watch it front to back now. It's great.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
but I'm not a binge watcher. I'm like old school. I want once a week.
But I'm one of those people that if I see that people hated the ending of something, then I'm like, well, then why am I going to get invested in it?
I agree.
I saw there were people who didn't like the ending of it, just like I saw people
just learn the ending.
hated the ending of Lost, and I never went back and watched Lost.
Show, but I watched it live. But I never watched that Breaking Bad. I never watched Sopranos.
See,
I learned the ending.
Breaking Bad and The Sopranos, I knew the endings. I still watched them. I thought they were great. Because the thing was, people said that it was a great ending or it was perfect. And then I was like, wow, this must be a really good show. I should go back and watch it.
During and before Ozark, though, we watched that Inventing Anna, which was a pretty good documentary.
My wife
about
watched that.
Anna Delvey story.
Yeah, what's the story?
She was basically a New York kind of influencer who claimed she was a German heiress when in fact she was basically a hustler. She faked stories.
Yo,
she got
hold
money.
on a second. I'm shocked. People on the internet may be faking what they are?
No, she was in real life and people believed her. She went to all the best parties and dated superstars and I had stayed in the fanciest of hotels and they just said, okay, yeah, you can pay us later. You can pay us later because we know your father has money. She did a very good job. And she was basically brought to court without giving it away. And she was trying to fight for it, saying, I didn't really fake it. People just believed me and gave me stuff. I didn't really have to say I didn't do it.
I dig that.
Right.
I dig that. I'm into that.
It was a good story.
Yeah.
And it was a girl from Ozark who played her.
Really?
Ruth played her.
So this is what you
Which
do.
was weird, her from going from hey, Marty Bird, to this weird German accent.
I'm watching Yellowstone. Have you heard about this one?
That's my wife's favorite show.
It is just the most over-the-top thing in the world.
It is unbelievable.
We have a joke where my parents have their summer cottage in Indiana, where I keep saying if somebody comes on our property, we kill them now, right? Because that's
what they do in Yellowstone.
That's what Yellowstone told me. If you just happen to walk across our property, I can murder you, according to Yellowstone. I mean,
it's legal.
That's the kind of show that it is. It's there's so much murder in it. It's unnecessary.
There are no likable.
You love Ozark then.
There's no likable people on that show.
On Yellowstone?
Yeah. Well, maybe a half.
Well, no, I like the one guy because he's a jerk. I like the Rip guy. The guy who kills all the people.
Bethany loves Rip.
He's funny. He's funny because he's my kind of guy.
He's
he just calls people
pudgy
names.
suburban dad looking guy.
That's what he is. He's a ticked off Southsider in a cowboy hat.
Totally
what he is.
Is there a dwarf on the show?
No.
Oh, you said there was only a half a likable person on there.
Thank you for listening to see what's happening on the Southside Pod. On the Southside Pod. Join us again and be sure to tell a friend about the Southside Pod. About the Southside Pod.
All things about the neighborhood we live in. All things about the places that we go. It's the best side of Chicago, the South Side Pod.